Joining us now, member of the Foreign Relations and Judiciary Committees, Democratic Senator Chris Coons of Delaware. Thanks very much for being on the show this morning. What are you interested in hearing today, and what struck you from the pre-released introductory testimony?
Well, Mika, what struck me was that it is completely unacceptable for the president to ask the FBI director to be personally loyal to him and to ask the FBI director to drop it with regards to an ongoing investigation into his former national security advisor. President Trump either doesn't understand or doesn't care about the long-standing importance of the independence of the FBI director. And I think when FBI Director Jim Comey gets his chance to testify today, it'll reinforce to the American people that we have a significant problem with a president who's engaged in a certainly unwise, certainly unethical conduct in the White House.
Senator Coons, it's Willie Geist. Good to see you this morning. The term obstruction of justice has been thrown around pretty loosely in the last several weeks in regards to this investigation and Donald Trump's relationship with former Director Comey. Do you believe, based on what you read in Director Comey's statement yesterday and perhaps from what we'll see today in questioning, that there's obstruction of justice here? And if so, how do you define that? What did he do to cross that line?
Well, Willie, as an attorney, I'm going to approach that question very carefully. I think that's the point of having an investigation led by Bob Mueller, a very seasoned, very senior career law enforcement official. As I said, I think the statements that we're going to hear today from former FBI Director Jim Comey make it clear that the president crossed a line, that the president engaged in unwise and unethical conduct. Whether it meets the legal standard for obstruction of justice is a decision for a prosecutor to make. But this certainly suggests, I think, to all of us in the United States Senate that we've got a president who is operating well outside the acceptable boundaries with regards to federal law enforcement. And I think that's frankly why you don't have Republican senators on the show this morning defending President Trump's actions.
Do you see anything illegal from what you read in the Comey statement?
It is right up against that line. There are key issues here of intent and context. Certainly, if I were being asked to make a judgment on that, I think there's reason to proceed seriously with an investigation. Yeah. But I think we also have to be careful about making legal conclusions and not getting in the way of Special Counsel Mueller's investigation.
Exactly. This is Mueller's decision, obviously, ultimately, and we can also wait to hear the testimony from Comey himself. David Ignatius is in Washington, Senator, and he has a question. David.
Senator, I want to ask you what effect you think this investigation and our intense focus on it is having on the image of the United States abroad and on our ability to conduct foreign policy.
Well, David, that's a great question. I've just returned from a Asia-Pacific Regional Security Conference in Singapore. I traveled with two senior Republicans, John McCain, Chairman of Armed Services, and John Barrasso of Wyoming. We went to Vietnam, we went to Singapore, and we met with leaders of 7 different nations in the region. They're gravely concerned about the extent to which the United States is distracted and is withdrawing from our leadership role in the Pacific. In a previous conference in the North Atlantic that I also went to a few months ago, with Senator McCain, I heard the same thing from our Eastern European and NATO allies, that they're concerned that this will distract us. David, I'm frankly both sad and angry. I'm sad that I introduced a bipartisan bill about manufacturing yesterday, and we're not going to talk about that, and it frankly probably won't move. And I'm angry with this president that he's taken us so far off course from what was a well-established path of independence for the FBI and federal law enforcement.
Oh, boy. That is for sure. Senator Chris Coons, thank you so much. And still